We are live. Hello, everyone. You are welcome back. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. My name is Omomi, and you're welcome to this channel. On my channel, I talk about teach abroad, life abroad. And in the last recruitment window, we had teachers that got jobs in the UK. And today I have a recruiter here in the house. So she recruits teachers to the United Kingdom. Yes. And she has recruited lots of teachers. I've brought Emmanuel on this channel, which came through this agency. I have someone that contacted me through this channel and he got job through this agency as well. It started September. So today I have her here. She's going to tell us all the requirements about how you're going to get teaching jobs abroad in the UK. Yes, and requirements for some other countries as well. So I will let her introduce herself. If you like my eyewear, I got this from Firmoo eyewear, so I'll drop the link in the description of this video and then you can get yours. So I'll let her introduce herself and then we dive into the video. So if you have any questions, just drop in the comments section and she will answer your questions.
Yes. Hello, everybody. I'm Megan Wessezen. I'm originally from South Africa. I help recruit teachers go over to the UK, whether you in the UK or whether you're wanting to go to the UK. We help find the jobs. We don't employ ourselves, but we have about 3,800 schools, hopefully growing soon. That ask us to help teachers to find teachers, and they struggle finding high quality teachers in the UK, and therefore they love teachers from all around the world that are highly qualified and highly experienced. So yeah, that's kind of what I do from my side.
Thank you. Okay, guys. So last recruitment window, like I said, some people got jobs through this agency, which is quite incredible. And I got good feedbacks from these people that this agency is the best. Yes, I can tell you for a fact, Megan. They said so. They said this agency is the best. So
We do try our best.
yeah.
Yeah, we
So
really
they
try
know their
our
onions. They know what.
Yeah, we really try our best to have a handheld approach. We try really helping teachers from the beginning to the end. We have people in our team that have relocated themselves and become teachers through us themselves, so they know what is necessary and what's needed to help a teacher get over to and relocate and pack everything up and go to their new country.
Amazing. Okay, so starting off, what are the requirements do you think teachers which are not in the UK should have if they're trying to get a job in the United Kingdom, especially if they're contacting your agency to get a job? What are the requirements they need to have?
Okay, that's a very good question. First of all, number one rule is you need to have a teaching degree. So we can unfortunately, I know in some countries it's okay if you don't have a teaching degree. You don't need a foundational teaching degree. For example, you could have studied something else like maths or science or a BSc or business or anything like that, and then done a PGCE or teaching certificate. That's fine. But unfortunately, in the UK, we are not able to help you unless you have a teaching degree. If you want to go to another country, for example, to Asia or to the Middle East, then you'll be able to do a TEFL if you don't have a teaching degree and then go and teach there. But unfortunately for the UK, they do have quite a high teaching standard, so they require you to have a teaching degree. So that is number one. When you are placed through our agency at a school, we have a few compliance documents that you will need. The first thing will be a police clearance. A police clearance may not be older than 6 months when leaving the country. So a police clearance is quite, so in many countries, a police clearance takes quite a while, but I do know that there are services that speed the police clearance up. Other countries, it takes a week or two. So it really depends from where you come. I specialize basically mostly in Africa, and I know any country within the African continent might take more time. I know also like Asia takes also quite a long time to get a police clearance. So from that side, police clearance, and then you need proof of funds. So the UK kind of just wants to know that you are able to sustain yourself once going over to the UK. These funds just need to be dormant in your bank account for longer than 30 days. Um, to get into more detail that we'll probably discuss later with regards to the process of once you are placed and what we do to help you. It generally takes about 30 days to apply for your visa. So once you've been placed at a school, I'd recommend you putting these funds in your account. And then the next thing you need, depending from where you're coming from, but most African teachers or Asian teachers or anybody that comes from a country that has quite a lot of official languages other than English will need to have a proof of English. So you'll go onto an ENIC website. I know a lot of teachers that are looking to go over to the UK have already gotten a statement of comparability, which is the same system that does the proof of English. So it's one go, you can submit your documents and you can get both. This takes about 3 weeks to get, so it's not necessarily a daunting task, but it does cost you some money, as well as your NARIC. So your NARIC isn't needed for your statement of comparability, isn't just for everybody that doesn't understand, isn't necessary for your visa application process, but it's definitely needed for compliance from the school. So the school just need to have that. And then just things to know that you're going to need when you are at the school is a statement of professional standing. So those of you that are in a country that has a teaching board, it's just that certificate or that teaching reference number that you do get. But if you don't get that, but you have QTS, then you can just use your QTS. That's enough. And then a good question that we always get is, do I need QTS? You don't need QTS to teach in the UK. You can teach in the UK for up to 4 years without having QTS. But we do recommend if you're eligible for QTS. So that means you studied in another country, but you've specialized in maths, science, modern foreign language, and some countries that take computer science. So if you've specialized in that, then you can apply for QTS. It will also increase your salary that you're going to get in the UK. So that is just, if you are able to apply for QTS, I would really recommend you doing so, but it's not a necessity. Yeah, so
Thank you
that's
so
kind of
much. So, guys,
all. Yeah, so that's kind of
yeah,
all the
that's
documents.
yeah, basically that's all the documents. So, guys, I would um encourage you drop your comments in the comment section so that I can ask Megan live here and she'll be able to answer your questions. So basically, she said your statements of comparability, police report, you have to be a teacher with a teaching degree. That means you should have your BA or BSc in education before you can get a job in the UK. Yes, so that is basically what she's saying. And do you think if someone has a BSc not in education but has a master's in education, do you think?
That's
Okay.
perfect. As long as you have any type of official certification with education in it. Mostly it's just to prove that you are able to work with kids, because obviously it's one thing to have you excellent in science, but you don't know how to put a lesson plan together to actually
Yeah,
prevail
that's
it to kids. So
true.
that's kind of all they want to know is, do you have anything in education? So it could be a certificate, a master's, or honors in education. It could be anything as long as you have some or other certification with uh, education on it.
Mm, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah,
And
maybe
then
while
last,
we're waiting
okay,
for questions, I can maybe explain like our approach and how we do it from
okay,
beginning to
yeah,
end.
yeah.
Yeah. So what we do is, first of all, you will send your CV to us, or you'll register on our website. If you go online to Engage Education, you can register as a teacher. Then your registration will come through to us on our platform, and somebody will be in contact with you. We will then explain a step-by-step process. So the first email you get will be visa requirements. Then the second email you'll get is the cost of the visa that you are eligible for. The only reason why we do this is to ensure that we cover ourselves and you, that you are aware of the costs involved. And then after that, we will organize. Obviously, you've already sent your CV. Then we'll organize a chat, basically like we're doing right now, a video call where we will just discuss certain things, just ask you a few questions to see if you're compliant and compatible for our schools in the UK.
Yeah.
Once we do that, we send you another email after our meeting to ask for certain documentation. This is just like a profile documentation. So what we then do is we set up an entire profile for you. We have a standardized profile that we use to send out to our schools. So when a school then does ask us, for example, for a maths teacher, then we'll send them your profile along with the profiles we have for a maths teacher. Obviously, the schools
Mhm.
will ask us for certain requirements. So the school will say, like, I want a teacher with at least 5 years experience. I want a teacher with QTS. I want a teacher that has leadership experience. So they'll ask like for certain characteristics, and then we will choose profiles based on those characteristics. Once we've then sent it to the school will say who they want to interview. So if they
Mhm.
select your profile to interview, we prepare you for the interview. So we send you videos, we send you information packs, we send you slideshows, everything um, about how to prepare for that interview. Then when you go for the interview, and you get the job, then we obviously congratulate you and ask you for certain documentation. The documentation we then ask you for is for your COS, which is a certificate of sponsorship. And on that certificate of sponsorship, they need to put your details on, like your passport number and things like that. So the school will ask you for that, and we'll then send that over. Once we've sent that over, they will apply for your work, your COS. Your people that don't understand what a COS is, it's like a work permit, basically. Um, and then while they're doing that, we will help you with your visa application documents. For example, those proof of funds, your police clearances, hopefully already done, but if it's not, we try and expedite the process. And then as well as your English proficiency and all those things that you're going to need for your visa application. Then once we get the COS, we will help you apply for your visa. We'll go through the application form with you, make sure all your answers are correct before sending your application in. Once you do your application and your biometrics, in that time, just before the start of the school term, we do about 10 CPD sessions. So, in these CPD sessions, we help you with training and development on how to navigate yourself getting to the UK, also teaching in the UK. So, these CPD sessions are from opening a bank account, getting accommodation, how to handle classrooms, how to write report cards, how to prepare lessons, all those type of things are part of your training and your CPD before you go over. But when you're over, you're fully employed by the school. So the school is in charge of your employment and everything on that end, but we do facilitate you nevertheless. So if you do have questions and you don't are struggling with, for example, opening a bank account, you are struggling with filling in report cards or anything like that, then we help you, even though you are employed by the school, obviously, because we do have experience in teachers and overseas teachers navigating the UK teaching system. So we still help you with that. So that's kind of our approach from beginning to end, and how we try our best to facilitate teachers and help them where possible.
Wow. Thank you so much. You explained everything in details. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have this question though, and I would like you to please explain, because some of the people that contacted me the last time, they mentioned about not getting feedbacks, and I wouldn't want to. I know what happened, but I wouldn't want to like jump into conclusion. So can you share what could have been the issue, but probably they didn't have the right qualifications, or what happened? Yeah.
Okay, so majority of the time is that people or teachers don't understand necessarily is that we can't employ you directly, the schools need to. So as much
Yeah.
as we believe in you as a consultant, for example, I like think you're an amazing teacher. At the end of the day, the school needs to be the one that thinks the same thing. And it's very difficult because we do get, on average, about 1,000 applications a month. So about 1,000 applications a month, that's what we get. And then when we do get those applications, we first look at the CV. And when we get the CV, then we first have to go from there. And then we only pick the best of the best CVs. Then when we meet those people and we've met them and we've profiled them, and we haven't sent you a rejection email, so we'll get an email saying that your qualifications aren't good enough, your years of experience aren't good enough, you maybe don't have enough experience in senior teaching, for example, teaching high standards of classrooms, then we will, after that, obviously not be able to help you, but then we would have already have told you that. If you have spoken to a consultant and they have told you that we've profiled you out and we're sending you to our schools, it's very difficult for us to give you feedback if we don't have anything because the school hasn't responded to your CV. It's kind of a waiting game. We can't help everyone, and that's what some people don't understand, because they don't understand how many people actually want to have this experience. And at the end of the day, if I can employ the teacher, it would be a different story. But I don't employ the teacher, the school does. So I have to make sure that whatever's happening is from the school side and not from anything else.
Okay. So do you think having a good CV would have a high chance?
Yes. Yes.
Mm,
Of course. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so we'll take some questions. Yes, someone is saying, I hold BSc Biological Science Education, currently teaching biology to senior high school students. I have more than 4 years teaching experience, and I also have my QTS. Do I qualify? Perfectly.
Obviously, if you can have a QTS, you really do qualify. So just to explain to you with
Okay.
QTS as well, is that some teachers, some schools, sorry, the school itself can only have a certain amount of teachers without QTS. So some schools will request that the teacher has to have QTS, um, but they don't, because they don't have any volumes left.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Yeah.
someone just asked, please, what if one has a bachelor's degree in education and a teacher's registration council certificate, that is TRCN, from Nigeria, but with no experience?
Yeah, see, so we can profile you out, but at the end of the day, that's what people also have to understand, teachers have to understand, is that you're going up against other teachers that then have 5, 10,
Mm,
15, 20 years of experience. So at the end of the day, if you can put yourself in the school's shoes and have the two CVs on your desk, that's the kind of thing that you have to think about. So I know, just to explain about that as well. So for some people, this process takes a month. For other people, this process takes 2 years. For some people, we placed a teacher the other day that's been on our books for 6 years. They've been wanting to go over to the UK for 6 years, and they only got placed
wow.
like 2 weeks ago. But that's just the
Wow.
situation, is because at the end of the day, we can't control how long it's going to take. And I know a lot of teachers, that's the number one question I get after I've interviewed somebody. Then I ask them, like, do you have any questions for me? And that person will always say, how long is this going to take? And at the end of the day, I can't
Yeah.
predict how long it's going to take, because once again, we're not the ones doing the employment. So I don't know if the school's going to see your CV in a month. I don't know if the school's going to see you in a few months. I have a teacher that started at a school now in September, and I interviewed him, and I was like, he's from Zimbabwe and he's a really amazing teacher. And while I was interviewing, he was like, I know this one school is looking for a science teacher. He's a science teacher. And I was like, I
Oh,
need to get his CV to the school. And within a week, he was
okay.
interviewed. Within 2 weeks, he was placed. But that is
Wow.
not always the case, because I was lucky in that sense that the school saw his CV. He had it. He had a
Yeah.
QTS, he had a master's, he had an MBA, he had everything.
Wow.
He had experience at university level, experience at school level. So it was really, his CV was outstanding, and I knew
Mm.
the school will see that. So it is quite difficult with regards to that. Is yes, you can be patiently waiting at home and hoping for this opportunity, but at the end of the day, you must also realize that there are thousands of others also waiting for this opportunity. And the
Mhm.
timeline is not in our hands as an agency. The timeline is literally, I always say, it's the luck of the draw. It's really if your CV matches what the school is looking for.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. So someone says, "What's the name of your company?" I mean, the agency.
Yeah. Engage education.
Thank you. Okay, someone is saying Megan does not always respond to inquiries.
Yeah.
Ah,
Let me quickly see who that person is. I'm on my emails now. It's actually um okay, they sent a long email here and then I responded. I did respond, but I'll just send you a follow up email as well if you have any questions. Is it Coyote? I'll send you. I've
yeah.
even have here you've yeah you are everything from
Uh,
Nigeria, teaching registered
yeah.
council. I see everything. Qualified exam
Oh,
results and your ID. I think what it was is that I sent you. Yeah, I'll speak to you personally. Promise. But I don't know if I have the
okay.
right one.
Someone says,
If this Coyote, I don't, obviously you're
Leode,
listening.
yes.
If you can just put your email address there, because I don't know if I have the right one, because there's obviously so many people have the same names. So if you can just put your email address in the comment section, then I'll personally respond to you this evening still.
Okay. So someone says, I have a BSc in business education and also have a teacher's license, TRCN, but I don't have a QTS. Do I still qualify?
Yes. So you can teach in the
Yeah.
UK for up to 4 years without QTS.
Yeah. So good evening, Momi and Megan. Good evening. Thank you for all your
Hello.
information. I was interviewed by Megan and it has been over 6 months. Oh, she already she already explained what was happening.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
So, Naomi, don't worry. The fact that you interviewed, number one, is already a step in the right direction. And the fact that your interview was successful is also a step in the right direction. So I have profiled you out and I do send you to schools on a regular basis. It's just like I explained. We just need to wait for that one school that sees your CV that's willing to interview you, and then you'll hopefully get the step. But we'll continue, your profile will be continued to be sent out, just so that everybody knows, until you informed otherwise. So if you're not informed that we are unable to work with you anymore, then you'll be fine. So yeah, Naomi, don't worry about that.
Okay, guys, I would like to chip in something right now. You can see from Megan's conversation, it all depends on your CV. So that means you need to construct a good CV for the school to see your CV and be able to contact or request you for interview. So please, good CV. That will go a very long way. Yes,
Yeah.
that will go a
Just
very
like
long
I can maybe give some tips with regards to CVs
way.
if
Okay.
you want that,
Yeah.
is there's a lot of people that put on their CV teacher and then they don't say what they teach. So if you
Ah.
say, so they'll just say like I've been a teacher at this school. Uh
Mm.
so then it's like, yeah, so that we know it's a teacher, you what, you're a science teacher or what teacher are you? And then also it's a good thing to put how long you've been teaching. So teach like from what date to what date have you been teaching at a particular school. So dates are very important, preferably with months and years. You don't have to have the specific day, but just the months and the years. So like I've been teaching from January 2020 to this to present, or to December 2022, and then from January 2023 to present, or something like that. And then another thing to put is,
Mm.
if you put that you're a science teacher, for example, then also put at the bottom the ages you teach, like or the years you teach. Like I have experience
Oh,
teaching this year to that year, just so
oh,
that that's also a good thing to see. And then
yeah.
also when you at the top of your CV, when you're saying that kind of paragraph about yourself, always put something about you as a teacher. Like, I'm very good at classroom management, I have a good leadership style, things like that will always help you when it comes to teaching, to somebody seeing and knowing exactly what you are like as a teacher.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right. Okay, so do we have any other question?
Yes, we've got a few.
Okay, hello, Homo, and Megan. I'm new to the conversation and would like to know if you recruit people to the UK. Oh, yeah, yes.
Yes, we do. We do really. So some people that are on postgrad visas. So if you have studied in the UK and you're now on your postgrad visa, we help you as well. If you're a teacher on a grad visa that you're currently studying, we can help you teach 20 hours a week. So you can do cover supervising at certain schools. So we can help you with that as well. And if you in the UK, maybe on a dependent visa, we help you as well. So if you're in the UK, we definitely do help you as well. Some schools also prefer giving a COS visa, a tier 2 visa, to teachers that are in the UK, because
Okay.
then they can do an in-person interview. So obviously the interviews we do with
Yeah.
overseas teachers are all via video call. But if you are in the UK, sometimes the school prefers that because then they can actually meet and greet you.
Yeah, 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 that's right. That's quite right. So, what are the chances for English language teachers? Because I can see a question relating to that. I have BA in communication and language arts.
Yeah. I taught for 10 years in Nigeria. Can I get a job? Yes, you can get a job without QTS. But once again, there I see you got a BA in language, communication and language art. Do you have any teaching qualification with that degree? So even though you have 10 years of
Yeah,
teaching experience, I can't help you unless you have a teaching degree.
yeah. So, if you have PGD or PGC, that is absolutely fine.
Yes. Please not TEFL. Some teachers in the UK, they don't see TEFL as a teaching qualification.
Qualification, yes, yes,
Yes.
yes. You're right. You're very right. Okay, so this time around, you're going to contact Engage Education directly because of more women's hands are full. The last time I got them through my emails and then I forwarded it to Megan, but this time my hands are so full. So you need to contact Engage Education, or do you want to drop a link? Do you want me to drop a link to probably
Yeah, I'll
your
send you a link. Or you can
direct
just put
contact
my email address there if you want
your
to.
email address? Oh,
Yeah, you
okay,
have
I'll
my
do that.
email address and they can just email me
Yes.
directly. Just email me with your
Oh,
CV. If not, I'll just request it via email. Don't worry about that.
okay, absolutely. So I'm going to drop Megan's email in the description of this video. But if you want me to review your CV, you can send that to me, but that will be at my own pace because, like I said, my hands are full before sending over to Megan. But you can construct your CV, you can watch some of my videos and CV constructions, and then you're good to go. So, can we have more questions? Why I asked Megan if she can tell us about requirements of getting jobs to other countries as well aside the UK.
Yeah. So I just first a disclaimer that I have knowledge on it, but I'm not as clued up as I am about the UK because I do specialize in the UK. But with Middle East and Asian countries, it is easier to go there than to Europe. So if you want to go to Europe, obviously European languages are a lot different, and it's not a English, not necessarily an English teaching school, except for the international schools. So Europe is very difficult because they would require you to speak their language as well, which is quite difficult, obviously, if you are English speaking. But if you're an English teacher, then the Middle East and Asia really are looking for teachers there. The requirements for that are a lot more difficult because you need to get everything apostilled in your country. So that will be for those of you who don't know, it's like that wax stamp that they put on your degrees to actually verify it. And it's the strongest form of verification that you'll get in your country. So that process takes a little bit longer, and obviously you get back and forth depending on the country that you are in. There you do not necessarily require a teaching degree if you're going to teach English as a second language. Then you can do a TEFL online, and then through your TEFL you can apply. So a lot of our candidates also go over to the Middle East or to Asia, and then from there they come to us. The big benefit with going to the Middle East or Asia is most of the time they do ask you they do help you and facilitate you financially sometimes as well to relocate, where the UK does not always do that. If they do, you one in a million. There are very few schools that will help you like that. And then with regards to Australia, it's the same process that I was speaking about earlier. You are more than welcome to pop me an email if you would like to go to Australia and New Zealand. We do not facilitate you personally, but we do have people that we can refer you to if you needed to do so.
Oh, okay, that's amazing. That's
Yeah.
amazing. So if you want to go to Australia and Canada, you can also contact. They will refer you to those that are in that field, in that aspect. Okay, well, thank you so much. And I would also like to ask, because she mentioned you can get your experience from as a supply teacher if you're already in the UK, as a cover supervisor. I left supply teaching recently. I dropped a video on my channel, and the reason why I would like you to talk about that is because you mentioned something the last time we spoke about cover supervisor roles, which is quite different from other agencies, and I love that you stated about even if you're not booked in, you'll still get paid or something. I can't really remember vividly. So
Yeah,
yeah,
SGP. Yeah, so we have something, it depends on, we can't guarantee that to everybody. We call it SGP, it's supply guaranteed pay. That is just
okay.
for teachers that are really, subjects that are really necessary, like a necessity. So if you are, for
Oh,
example, in London and you're a science teacher, then obviously we are going to use you almost every single day of the week because that is a subject that is, or even a primary school teacher in London, you'll be surprised. Like you will be able to
wow.
we'll be able to help you a lot. But yeah, we really do have a lot of schools on our books, which helps us. And we have good relationships with our schools. So we really help teachers get that as an experience. I have a lot of teachers that love supply teaching because they just enjoy the flexibility a lot more. And
Yeah.
yeah, and then find the school that suits them, and then they'll go on to more of a long-term contract.
Oh, that's amazing. I think Engage Education is the only agency, at least I work with some, that would actually give you this offer. Yes, the only agency I have heard of. Yeah, which is
Yeah,
quite good, quite a very
yeah.
good one. Okay, I think we have no more questions. Okay,
I
someone
see.
said I have postgraduate diploma,
That's fine. If you
PG.
got a
Oh, this
post,
PG. Yeah,
yeah,
that's fine.
yeah. So he'll be fine.
Okay. Can I get a job if I have 12 years of teaching experience with a diploma in teaching, a BSc in management? I've been working as teaching assistant in the UK for 7 months.
You have a diploma in teaching? Yes. So if you are from Mauritius on a dependent visa, we are more than welcome to help you. We'll be able to get you a teaching job because you do have a diploma in teaching. So that will be great with 12 years experience. Sounds great. So if you can just let me maybe send me your CV and I'll be able to help you getting a teaching job rather than a TA job. We will just, yeah, we'll go through the compliance process with you and make double sure. But from the sounds of things, I can't think that you won't be able to getting a teaching job from us.
Yeah. So Issei, if I pronounce that right, contact Megan.
Yeah.
Okay, someone is asking, be head in guidance and counseling and minor in English language. Can I apply?
Yes, so you can apply. If you've got 3 years teaching experience in English, you'll be fine. You can apply. You do have the right qualifications. So yes, you can definitely apply.
Okay. Is there any prospect for a French teacher?
Yes, they really need French teachers in the UK. I could say if
Yeah.
you're a French teacher and you got a visa, if that is already in the UK, you are in high demand. But
Yeah.
yes, we do tier two with French teachers as well. French and Spanish.
Yeah.
And surprisingly
And
enough, we've
Spanish,
gotten,
absolutely.
yeah. Surprisingly enough, we've gotten a few schools requesting German teachers at the moment, which is something new.
Oh,
So yeah.
okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
Um,
So
and then
how
I
the
see,
German teachers
yeah,
get your CV ready?
yeah.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I can read the next one.
Okay. First degree in mass communication, PGD in early childhood, TRCN, teaching primary schools for more than 10 years.
Okay, so that's one thing about primary schools is primary schools don't need as many teach. They don't have such a shortage as secondary schools. So primary schools are quite full. So they, to give you an idea, we in this year we've placed probably 2% primary school teachers out of all the teachers we've placed on a tier 2 visa. If you have a primary school qualification and you in the UK with a visa and a right to work, we can help you by all means. But with regards to COS tier 2 visa, I we will be able to possibly help you, but I can't be as enthusiastic about it as I am about a secondary school teacher,
Mm,
which
yeah. Yeah.
sometimes sucks because we have really amazing primary school teachers on our books.
Yeah, I understand that. Okay, can you please send the email? I'm going to drop that in the description of this live session. Immediately after this live, I'm going to do that. Please, I would love to have both you and Megas in it. I'll drop that in the description of this live. Okay, I think that's all, and we are done. Thank you so much for coming on my channel. Thank you so much. So if you want to contact Megan, you can contact her through our email. Like I said, I'll drop it on the description. Okay, Bukola is saying, I'm in the UK presently teaching French. Oh, okay. But just applied for my QTS. What can I do? Please contact Megan.
Yes, you can please contact me. I will definitely be able to get you a great school and a great deal. Please, French teachers, high demand. Please send me your CV.
Yeah. Okay, the last question I'm taking here. My husband teaches in New York High School, math and physics. What are the opportunities there in UK?
Okay,
And how the
so
pay scale looks like. Okay.
okay, that's a really good question. So the UK uses a standardized pay scale so that it's
Yeah.
kind of fair for everyone. So you
Mhm.
can literally go on to Google and type in pay scales in the UK and have a look there. So it really depends on where you placed. So the pay scale is dependent on your area and your area's expense of living. So how much cost of living, sorry, and how much it costs to live there. So some areas get paid a little more than others, and you also will be on the pay scale according to your salary and your subject. So being a maths and
Mm,
physics teacher, he should get your husband should get a good pay scale, depending on what how many years he has and things like that. The school will work it out. But if he
mm,
has QTS, then he'll even be on a highest pay scale. So if you can apply
mm.
for QTS, that will also help his CV as well as also help him get attaining a higher pay scale.
Yeah. Yes, you're right. Okay. Thank you so much. Like I said, thank you for coming. I really appreciate that. So, guys, contact Megan. I'll drop her email on the description of this video. Thank you guys for joining, for wherever you've joined, the UK, Nigeria, from the US, from everywhere. Thank you so much. And I will
Yeah.
see you on the next one.
Yes. Thank you for having
Bye.
me. Bye.